Every week we like to wrap things up on Bullseye with a recommendation from me. It's the Outshot. Most video games are games more than they are stories. If there's a narrative to them, it's kind of grafted on. Like right now, I'm playing this Batman game. I can tell you it feels amazing to zip around on the Gotham skyline. It is super fun to shoot batarangs at bad guys. And honestly, I have probably put 20 hours into this game. I have no idea what the plot is. But I also just finished another game that's entirely different. It's called Firewatch, and it's almost purely narrative. It's a two-hander driven by a relationship. You're a guy in his late 30s whose wife has dementia. She's in a home, and you decide to escape from your problems by taking a job as a park ranger. Sitting in a watchtower in Wyoming, keeping your eye out for fires. The game starts with text on the screen, like a choose-your-own-adventure book. In 5 minutes, you fall in love, you get a dog, you lose your love to dementia, and then there you are, first person, alone, wandering through the wilderness, literally and figuratively. And that's the most action-oriented thing you do. You wander a bit, maybe open a gate, climb a rock. The game's breathtakingly beautiful. The look feels nostalgic, but unplaceably so, not exactly retro. The story's set in the mid-'80s, but the park looks a bit like a travel poster from the 60s. Not in a kitschy way. It's just sort of golden. And spending time in the world is transporting. Maybe just because there aren't a lot of quiet video games. I mean, in Firewatch, you could spend an hour just watching a sunset. Anyways, you sit in this Firewatch tower. You have one friend. She's your boss, Delilah. She's not there with you. She's in a tower on the other side of the park. But you have a radio, and she has a radio. And so the two of you talk.
Hello, Two Forks Tower.
Hello? Whoever this is?
It's Henry, right?
Yeah.
I'm Delilah.
Yeah, that's what the guy said on the phone.
So, what's wrong with you?
Excuse me?
People take this job to get away from something. So, what's wrong?
What's wrong with you?
That's a great idea. Go ahead.
Look, I just hiked for 2 days, so I don't really follow whatever it is you're doing right now.
You take a stab at what's wrong with me.
Fine, then can I sleep forever?
Sure, buddy. Okay, now go ahead.
Okay, you're probably out here because nobody back home can stand you. Which, after this brief introduction, is not a big shock.
Ouch. I'll chalk that up to you being tired and grumpy.
Well, I'd better get some sleep then.
One sec. Now it's my turn.
Okay, good night, bye.
Let's see. I don't know anything about you, but 9 times out of 10, folks out here simply got dumped.
Huh, is that it?
Close?
Good night.
Good night. Welcome to the job.
The game's interface is very simple. You can walk around, you can jog, you choose dialogue from a menu. In books, first-person narrative has an as-told-to quality, and second-person never quite feels right. Why is a book telling you what to do, right? Firewatch engages the storytelling strength of a game. It immerses you completely, and you connect deeply with this character. When you walk and talk for someone, when you see from their eyes, you become them in a way that's unlike any other form of fiction. There's a lot of mundanity in Firewatch, especially in the beginning. That just seems to strengthen it. And, you talk to pass the time.
How many hikers go missing in the Shoshone?
More than none, unfortunately, with most of them being in this area. The thoroughfare because it's so remote. Why?
I found an old flyer for a missing hiker. It just got me thinking, that's all. Like how you said one day you were talking to the Goodwins and then the next you weren't.
Ned Goodwin didn't get mauled by a bear or stuck in a ravine. He was just a PTSD'd a-hole who dragged his son out to do a job and realized it was a bad idea.
You really didn't like that guy, did you?
I don't know. I I just had a hard time talking to him. I mean, there are lookouts who seriously won't shut up, who call me about every little thing that pops into their head. And then there are those who just want to be left alone. He was the latter.
And I'm the former, aren't I?
Well, I didn't want to say anything.
No, it's fine. I'll just chuck my walkie-talkie into the river.
Oh, come on.
And you'll never hear from me again.
Finally, peace and quiet. Woohoo!
As it turns out, there's something going wrong in the park. You figure that out pretty quick. Things are off kilter. Something's weird with Delilah, too, but you also kind of like her. And as a fire starts to burn on the horizon, the stakes start to feel higher and higher. Your wandering eventually begets an investigation, some self-preservation, tension. You're working on a project.
Are you looking at the fire?
Okay, I'm looking at it again.
I love how they look at night. During the day, it's just smoke, but when the sun is down, you can just get lost.
Yeah.
I'm glad you're here.
Why do you say that?
Because I do. I'm not crazy. I mean, we've had such a good time, right?
Yeah, I think so.
I don't talk to the other lookouts as much as I talk to you. Not in the same way. And I know you're not really available, but I want you to know, well, maybe it'd be nice to get together at the end of the summer. Look, we don't have to plan or even talk about it. I'm just having the thought. I wish I was over there.
I wish you were too.
You only barely glimpse anyone, and you barely hear a voice besides Delilah's. The mystery builds and builds. You find an axe. You gather loose papers. You stumble on something horrible. And I don't want to ruin it all for you here, but I'll say this. Firewatch is a story about isolation, and that's perfectly suited to gaming. It's a lonely story in a lonely medium. The act of playing the game, of course, is itself an escape. We play so that we can live in a world bounded by rules. Because in real life, what rules we think we know get broken every day. We can't even really count on people we love because human beings change and die and get sick. We play games so that we can visit a simpler world with rules we know, and that's why our man goes to work in that fire station. He's looking to leave behind the confusion of his life. You see the fire, you call it in. You make yourself a sandwich. You write. You read a book. You're all alone with your thoughts. You're far away from anyone who can throw you a curveball. You're far away from your pain. But in life, as in the game, escaping problems does not end them. And in Firewatch, in the end, you have to go home again, even if you're not quite sure what you'll face when you get there. That's my outshot.